Okay. Well, we've just heard the decision of the Supreme Court on what unfortunately can be termed a dispute over APGA leadership. The leadership had never really been in doubt until some characters decided to skew and fraudulently misrepresent the judgment of the Supreme Court. And they even proceeded to the extent of seeking to, according to them, enforce that judgment, making pronouncing Edozie Njoku as the chairman of APGA, when the Supreme Court never did that. Unfortunately, the trial court indulged him, and then eventually we came up to the Supreme Court to have it set aside. What the Supreme Court did is indeed an unequivocal pronouncement on the matter and a firm determination that fraud should not be perpetrated against the judgment of the Supreme Court, or judgment of any court for that matter, and also that the lower court should be vigilant so as to discover and then stamp out such irresponsible attempts to misconstrue the judgment of the court or use the judicial process in a most inordinate manner. As a matter of fact, it's not really just the parties themselves, but the lawyers also should be held accountable. The lawyers who sat down and then actually got their clients to believe their lies and then went to the extent of filing those processes in court in a bid to totally truncate the judicial process. And unfortunately, these characters who apparently succeeded for a while until today had gone on devastating the party structure all over the country, selling forms, collecting forms on the pretext that the Supreme Court had made them the executive of the party, when no such thing ever transpired. So this is a very disappointing thing which the Supreme Court stopped today. They even went to the extent of writing petitions against lawyers who defended their totally frivolous and horrible fraudulent actions. But fortunately, this judgment put a very clear pronouncement on the matter and then put an end to all that shenanigan. So I think we are happy, not just for the parties, but indeed for the judicial process itself, and then for our Supreme Court that rose to the occasion.
How much was that?
Well, the award of cost of 20 million naira in all the cases, which should bring it to a cumulative sum of 60 million naira, is an eloquent pronouncement that what they did, starting from the lower court, and then also what they did, extending the skewed version of their decision of the judgment to the people, to the populace, to the even to INEC, even getting INEC to jettison a duly elected chairman of a political party on the pretext that there was an order of court to that effect, when indeed there couldn't have been an order of court, because the basis for the so-called order of the High Court was totally on a basic shenanigan, that to the effect that the Supreme Court had made Edozie Njoku a chairman of the party, when no such thing ever transpired. Thank you.
Okay.
How do you react to
Well, for me, my reaction is very simple. It's more of gratitude. Gratitude to the judiciary. There is one important thing for me in all this, that most times when people try to deprecate our nation's judiciary, at a time like this, we must always try to express our appreciation in very illuminating words to the nation's judiciary as the last hope of the common man. Because it's very, very important that we say this. So not every time you see negative news, the judges say, this judge has done this judge has done the other one. So today, I'm very proud of our nation's judiciary as the last hope of the common man. And like I always say, our judiciary will always come through to save our nation's democracy. And that's what has done or happened today by the very erudite judgment delivered by the learned justices of the Supreme Court concerning our leadership. Just like the lead counsel in our matter, Dr. Nyechi Bazo, just said in his interview, that what ought not to have even taken place in the first place has been dragged up to the Supreme Court. And it's very, very unfortunate. Resources expended, structures of the party destabilized just because of someone's selfish or inordinate ambition. And the court came out clearly to say unequivocally and very illuminating words that there must be an end to litigation. The court stated the processes that led to this journey here, how the Court of Appeal in Kano in 2021 pronounced Chief Victor Oye as a national chairman and affirmed by the Supreme Court, and someone, just because of a correction of an accidental slip, decided to invect the judgment of the Supreme Court or skew the judgment of the Supreme Court and proceeded all the way to a high court to begin to speculate or conjure what the Supreme Court did not say and impose not just on the court but on INEC. So it's a very unfortunate situation, but we are glad. That's why I always express my appreciation to the nation's judiciary, commend the CJN, because we are seeing the effect of the reforms that she's putting in the judiciary. And like I said, the judiciary will always come through. So this, for me, is a word of appreciation to the national judiciary, the legal team, the members of the party, our caucus in the National Assembly, and all who have stood with us in support and in fervent prayers that the will of God in APGA will be done. APGA is a massive movement, and we are here to rewrite the history of our country. And with all of you, I believe we are going to make the difference. What the judgment has brought to APGA is certainty, clarity, that we are in charge. We are the duly elected leadership of APGA, because it was the Victoria-led leadership of APGA, as pronounced and affirmed by the court today, that conducted the convention that brought us to office. So it was a duly conducted convention, and we are in charge. So there is no speculation now about everything about leadership issue in APGA has been brought to a final end today. And the court awarded, we saw the court awarded a cost of 20 million in each of the appeals for people who decided to embark on a frivolous trip because in 2021, you recall, they embarked on that trip to Birnin Kudu. And now they embarked on the trip to Buhari. Nobody knows where they are going to go tomorrow, but this judgment has brought it to an end. Maybe if they embark on any trip again, you get a cost of 100 million. For me, this madness must end.
Some of us are here.